Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is a tutorial on this makeup look, so if you're interested, keep watching. Alright, let's get into this. First, I'm going to start off by priming my face using the Milani Prime Shield Primer. So I'm just going to make sure that is all rubbed into my face before I apply a second primer, because today I guess I was feeling quite extra. Now I am going in with the Becca First Light Priming Filter Primer. I kind of like this primer because it has an iridescent finish, so I feel like it's going to give me a glow underneath the foundation. So I think that this is a good primer to put on top of another one if you're somebody who likes to double up on primers. I recently saw somebody do this in a makeup tutorial and it had me kind of intrigued, to be honest, so I figured today would be a good day to try it. And I do like this primer, however, I wouldn't put this one on the bottom because it is iridescent and I wouldn't want that glow to get lost underneath a thicker primer. So as I go to open my foundation, I drop the top, but luckily it was only the top and not the foundation itself. So yeah, just another graceful moment. Anyways, I am using the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation and I am in the color number 9 Tan. This is the first 2-in-1 foundation I've ever used, and I did run out and buy it after I heard so many great reviews. I've had it for quite some time, and to be quite honest, it pretty much replaced my Maybelline Fit Me foundation, which is my all-time favorite drugstore foundation. But this one I feel like I get more coverage with a lot less product. I also really like that this foundation comes with a pump instead of just opening it and then having to pour the foundation out onto your hand. I feel like you get more control of the product this way and you're not wasting. However, I did use quite a lot on my forehead, so that's why I'm going to be trying to drag it down onto my face, because I was quite surprised. I was like, oh, did not know I had that much product left on my brush. And because this foundation also conceals, I'm going to be blending it on my eyelids just to use it as a base for my eyeshadow. I'm actually too lazy to go out and buy one, so lately this is all I've been doing to prime my eyes for my eyeshadow. Now I'm going to conceal my under eye using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, and I'm using the shade 30 Cafe. I have pretty deep circles underneath my eyes, and I find that using a concealer that matches my skin tone better conceals them than going in with a highlighting shade concealer right off the bat. So here I am looking for my Real Technique sponge to blend out my concealer, but I can't seem to find it. So I settled for this really crappy sponge. I honestly don't even know where I got it. I don't know who makes it, but it was so hard and I don't know. I made it work somehow, but it was tough. Now I'm going to use the NYX Gotcha Covered Concealer to highlight, and as you can tell by my reaction, I was like, holy crap, this is way too bright. But I just grabbed the brush that I used to apply my foundation and blended that out, and I think it ended up working pretty well for me. It is a really thick concealer, so I was kind of worried that it wasn't going to blend well, but as you can tell, it did a really good job. The only thing about this product that I don't care for is the packaging. Because the product is so thick, having it in a tube doesn't really work all that great. You've got to really work to get it out of the tube and onto your hand, and that can be a bit inconvenient, but I do like the coverage, so it wouldn't stop me from using it again. Now to set my under eye, I'm using the Stellar Loose Setting Powder, and this is in the shade Glow number 2. I don't bake, so that's why I just press the powder into my skin and then quickly brush off whatever excess there is. I really like this powder. I feel like it gives you an even finish, and I don't see any creasing, but I mean, I do have deep circles like I said before, so I typically expect to crease in my under eye, but overall I do feel like this product does a really good job. Moving on to the brows, I'm using the Rodial Glamobrow Precision Eyebrow Pencil, and I'm filling them in with the shade Dark Ash Brown. I'm honestly not that great at eyebrows, so I am thankful to have pretty full eyebrows, so I just try to follow the shape that I have and fill in any spots that may be a bit sparse, which is typically just towards the tail. I do really like that this brow pencil is dual-ended, so it does have a spoolie on the other side. I know what you're gonna say, I am living under a rock. I have not yet tried the Anastasia Brow Wiz, but I'm a little bit more apt to trying it after I've used this brow pencil. I feel like I'm a little bit more comfortable than I used to be, so I feel like that brow pencil by Anastasia Beverly Hills may be my next purchase. Alright, so getting started on my eyes, I'm going to be blending the shade Candle from the Makeup Revolution Flawless 4 palette into my crease. Now, using a more dense crease brush, I'm going to be blending the shade Sable from the Lorac Pro Eyeshadow Palette into my crease just to give my eyes some dimension. This palette for me is probably one of my holy grail products. I use it just about every time I go to do my makeup. I feel like I can use every shadow in the palette, which is pretty rare because you know there's always that one shade that you're like, probably not going to use that one. Not with this palette. It's amazing. Now going back in with the shade Candle that I used in my crease for my transition color, I'm just going to blend it out, make sure there's no harsh lines, and make sure everything blends well together. So now just going back into the same Makeup Revolution palette, I'm taking the shade On Top, which is more of like a coral orangey color, and I'm putting that on my lid. I decided to do an all matte eye look because I rarely do them, but I often really love how they turn out. So to finish off this eye look, I'm going to take the color Sable from the Lorac Pro palette and blend that on the outermost part of my under eye. And then I'm going to take the color Candle from the Makeup Revolution palette and draw that more towards the middle. And of course you want to blend those two together so it gives it a more seamless look. So now I'm just going to bronze my face using the Sephora Bronzer in the shade Canary Islands Dark. I like using bronzers to give my face a soft contour. I have a narrow face as it is, so I'm really not looking to, snatch my cheekbones. So I decided to add a little bit of shine just to my inner tear duct. So I'm using the Maybelline Master Chrome Highlighter in the shade Molten Gold. So for mascara, I'm going to use the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I originally bought this in a mini size just to try it out, but I definitely am going to be purchasing the full size product because I absolutely love this. My lashes are pretty long and curly on their own, but they do tend to clump together. And this really helps to fan them out, and I really like how dark and full they make my lashes look. So because I decided to do an all matte look on my eyes, I kind of wanted to amp it up with the highlighter. So I'm going in with a liquid highlighter, which is the NYX Born to Glow Liquid Illuminator in the shade Gleam. I also feel like I kind of overdid it in a couple of spots, so I just took this highlighter brush from E.L.F. and tried to blend it out. But I feel like once you put it on, it's kind of stuck, so I just kind of went with it, and I was like, you know what, whatever, because I'm going to be putting a powder highlight on top of it, so hopefully it will just blend together. So now I'm just adding the Maybelline Master Chrome highlighter on top of the NYX one. This is the same shade that I used to highlight my inner tear duct. And of course you want to highlight the high points of your face, so I did the bridge of my nose, the tip, and a little bit on the center of my forehead. So now for blush, I'm using the E.L.F. Cosmetics Primer Infused Blush in the shade Always Fiery. When I first saw this blush, I was like, oh my goodness, like it's way too orange, it's just not gonna work. But I feel like if you use it really lightly and then blend it out, it ends up looking really nice. Now I'm just going to set the rest of my face with my Maybelline Fit Me Powder in the shade Natural Tan. And I usually use this step as one last chance to just go over everything and make sure that there's no harsh lines and everything looks really seamless. So moving on to a product that you can tell I'm very excited to use. This is Alissa Ashley's collab with E.L.F. Cosmetics, and this is her gloss in the shade Nude Rose, and I love this. The wand kind of tripped me out a little bit because it's like shaped to fit your lips, and I just thought it was amazing, and I was like, I'm just never gonna stop applying this lip gloss because it feels so good. So I put my makeup on probably about 4 hours ago, and I still have the gloss on. It looks amazing, and it's not sticky, which I really like. That's my happy dance. I was honestly so happy that this gloss was available again because the first time it was released, I missed out. So when I found out that it was available, I am not even kidding, I went on and ordered it that same day, and I'm so happy that I did. So that lip gloss literally had me shook, and I just about forgot to set my face. So now I'm setting my face using the Milani Make It Last setting spray. And that is pretty much it for this makeup look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for my next one.